Philip Slayton is a lawyer. Don't hold that against him. He's an author. He's just written this book, Antisemitism. It was out just a few days ago. He joins me right now. Fabulous book.
Thank you,
Stephen. History in the world of anti-Semitism throughout the world and still with us. There's a line in here in particular that's so relevant now. You say, the correct response to misinformation is to give facts. The correct reply to a bad argument is a good argument. Yes. These days we have people banning books, burning books. We have a federal government coming down the back of everybody in social media. Is a good argument all that's necessary to keep the discussion going?
Well, I'm not sure it's all that's necessary, but it sure as hell is a good start. And it's often absent these days. I mean, often there's just people shouting slogans at each other on both sides of the divide. Arguments, good and bad, don't really figure into it very much.
So that's very relevant. You see that on TV, both sides yelling at each other, who has the loudest voice, and they're all just slogans.
I mean, I think if we want to live in a reasoned, civilized, progressive society, we want to live in a society where people actually talk about ideas. They don't have to agree, but they talk about them. And if they don't agree with somebody else, they explain why they don't agree with somebody else. And that, unfortunately, is pretty much absent often in political discourse and other kinds of discourse as well.
Well, why is that, Philip? I mean, there used to be wonderful debates in the Commons, in the Senate, in the House of Lords, in the House of Representatives.
Why is that? Well, that's a good question. I think it's a very complicated, the reasons are very complicated.
3 minutes though.
Yes, I know. I'll pick out just a couple of things to point to. I think, for example, the rise in populism is partly responsible for this. And I think the rise of identity politics is partly responsible for this.
What is identity politics?
Identity politics is the politics of small groups who think they're bound, the members of which think they're bound together by some common identity. And these groups are dividing all the time, getting smaller and smaller. And people in those groups often are resentful of people who are not in the groups. They feel they've been badly treated. They feel that they need redress for historical grievances and all that sort of thing. And it's driven by as much by emotion and sloganeering, as in my opinion, as it is driven by reasoned judgment, reasoned argument, and discussion with people.
No, and you said sloganeering, and you're absolutely right. So, are we going down the rabbit hole in Western civilization, or is there an answer to this? Is there a better time coming?
Well, there's no simple answer to it. I hope we're not going down a rabbit hole. I mean, I think social media has turbocharged a lot of this because it makes it so easy to do exactly the kinds of things that I've just been decrying. Easy, anybody can do it, and sometimes people who do it have a big reach.
Philip, 3 minutes. An Ancient Hatred in the Age of Identity Politics. It's a good book. The Trudeau-subsidized media cannot engage you in the discussions. They can't even present the discussions that we do here in this channel, which are critical to the health and future of Canada. So, to help us keep broadcasting, please contribute financially. The address is below. You can write a check, PayPal, and please subscribe.